Let's turn down and slow down to this particular comedy, which are coming exactly from these locations here. This is actually, if you see here, you look here, we don't have actually South Sudan to concentrate very much here. No South Sudan around here. And if you look here on the other map, which we have here, we have right there, very tiny, and that's South Sudan right here, somewhere here, and that is how it goes and end right there. And this one here, you can see right there, this is Equatorial Sudan. This is Equatorial Sudan, and we have it divided. Now, this South Sudan here has no, this land here, they have no right to talk about this Kenyan land, and then this Congolese land, and this Ugandan land, and this the so-called Kenyan land, or the Ethiopian land, or the Central African land here. Okay. So this one here make this guy here. We put the guy now in the middle somewhere right there, if you see. But they have the right as a Sudanese, because a Sudan, if we use now the 7 capacities, this South Sudan will have the right to this land here if they're using the 7 without that divided line which they created alongside the small map. Because if you look here on these concentrations here on our faculty and training and lecture, we don't have the small map of that South Sudan. We don't have it right there. Okay, but we as is a tribal, this is a tribal manner and a tribal chaotic issues which we are resolving. This is a tribal issues, and if it's a tribal, they have their tribes. We name their tribes. Their tribe is right there, not missing on the record of these new transactions, which you are seeing, which sealed and which brought 7 as here. So now, why is Khartoum under violence? We are one of the salt and one of the light to that particular fight. Why? This is our design, and that is the Khartoum segregation. The segregating does is the South Sudan, and the segregating they want to isolate away from this area. So we are seeing we are losing a resource here. We the Equatorian, the red line down here, we are losing this red relationship we have here with that particular regions which you are seeing up right there. And if you see, that is the red region, which is the Khartoum, and the red regions down here, that is Equatoria, and then we have green, that is the South Sudan relationship with the Khartoum people. They still have their relationship there. Okay, if they use themselves as the South Sudan, they still have that. And then now, we the Equatorians, we are here red. The red areas which you see we opened because of that cases. And now the faculty is like this. Now if we have this agenda, and then they have that divided agenda, and there are that particular solutions, and then we went to maybe viral, of course is affecting the whole situations, and the situations there, if you look, that is all contributed because of this one. There is a little bit, of course, yeah, that is the situation. So now if they said they have to invite this South Sudan, how will they invite South Sudan to Khartoum? The guy ran away from you. How can you be how can your enemy be helpful to you? Instead, they are contributing to the violence. We are contributing to the peace of mind that will bring this unity right there. Now that South Sudan, which you are calling to Khartoum, is the one that grabbed this information we have. They want to take it and negotiate on our behalf. And on the other end, the other guy, which is the South Sudan, they're saying that's the president of Sudan, the whole president of Sudan. If he's the president of Sudan, why that the guy is claiming there in South Sudan he's not a president, he's a president of South Sudan. And then that one there is claiming he's the prime minister of Sudan. Now, which is the right? So we asked this question on the other invasion which we have back in last years, and it come again because of this violence. but I cannot answer that particular area. That is nonsense. It's not safe. It's not good. And then what we know is this one. This is the faculty. So if this is the faculty, so why shall they invite the enemy? Because the enemy, so they carried this land. What is their excitement, and what is their pride? To be invited to Khartoum, and then that they will accept and they will come and bring peace to Khartoum. What is the solution? Why that they did not bring a peace to themselves here, other than running the real copyright which we have here? This is the Sudan copyright. There is no different here. This is the only Sudan. Why they cannot go with these traps? Why they cannot manage themselves as a trap leaders? They cannot go a leader if they are not the right people. They should use this copyright. And then I myself, I cannot be a light to Khartoum. I cannot be a doom light, or I cannot be a doom soul to Khartoum to fast there. Okay? So to create such kind of a confusing, not a confusing, but a convenience map, which is now destructive to them, because we brought it, and then we have the lectures all along on our TV. On those TVs, of course, that is the Khartoum, is deep in the village, and the city is deep in the village. They are not a researcher enough. The few people know, other people don't know, and the rumors is circulating there, and that's why they come with the different alternatives to combine forces, of course. And if there you found we went viral, and then people are working for us, and then the departments that are proposing the government side work well with us, and then the opposers loses the most, and then they found they have that tensions, okay, to take advantage if we can be lowered, okay, if we can be calmed down, or if we can quit this kind of situations. No, we don't quit, okay. So the truth is like this. So no need for that liar, which is the South Sudan, the president, whatever their silver carry, whatever their dingas, don't involve with them. The dingas, their card fits, they have a trill sign which goes like this. That is the silver crease from that particular traps. And then I'm really Equatorians, the red Equatorians down here, and then the Arabs up there, which is the Khartoum. Okay, you can see the relationships here is the red relationships we have there. In blood, or I don't know, is in land. I don't know, is in the in blood systems, or in motherhoods. That's what we don't know. But as we said, this is the map. If for the guy the map is big enough and is very conflicting, we say this map is big enough and is not conflicting. It needs your talent, it needs your skill, it needs your practices. And those practices you pick from who? From the right leaders that you have there, whatever, when you use the appropriate procedures of politics, which has a good examples, and those examples will organize for you the election, will organize you the campaign, and then of course from there you become the leads. And then there's been the leads, no need to fire by guns, no need to do by other alternatives, because of the wildlife systems. Maybe the city is raided by wildlife and vampires, and thus those guys, they feel they are not insecure. They need to be updated so that they become good enough. If we talk of that firearms which they are putting, and those tanks they are putting because of those areas, so that they can screw off those wildlife and screw off those vampires from operating the residents. Okay, so that is also another alternative which they are having those issues with. And then there is another issues, that is this one, the ideologies of lack of skills to research, and then lack of skills to know from one another to another. And then people are ignoring the truth. They don't want the truth which we hold on heart, and then they are going with the untruths. That's why they are handling themselves like that and like that and like that and like that. So that is overview. So no need, if this guy is the enemy there, for us we are seeing the enemy because we are neighbors and very, very close neighbors. Okay, we know their ideologies because they could be quick at guns because they are trained as the military, because Sudan won militaries. That is a military. If you see them invited there, that is a military cases. So no need to go that why is the guy getting hired there? Because that is a military basis. He's a military personnel. So if he's a military personnel, that could be the general or general of Odisha, and they're particularly used as a rebel sometimes because of their ideologies of not using these talents or these provided area to be, and then they want to their concentration is outside this map which is provided as a copyright. They want to stay outside here, outside there, and outside there they are neglecting this one. They will jump to Egypt. They will neglect here there. You see, on the other line, we draw a line outside like this. These 11 countries which is bordering Sudan. Okay. If you see from up right there to down here, we draw on this African map. We show you how many countries that are bordering this one, Sudan. That could be 11 countries. If 11 countries, you know exactly how many are they there. So that is 11 countries. So the guy is want to stay outside there because of their relationship with these Equatorian people, and then Equatorian people has lands with these neighbors. Of course, they are down here. That is Equatorial is concerned. So instead of inviting this guy, which is the South Sudan, or their capacities, instead try this one, a refugee headmaster who stays outside this map, this seventh. Which, if whatever this map here, this is the copyright. They stay outside here because this South Sudan doesn't want to use this copyright. Those headmasters, they left. The headmasters, they could be in a refugee camp in Uganda, DRC, Central Africa, in Ethiopia, and then in Kenya. That is where those refugees headmasters they could be. They are men like me. If they are women, they are called head ministries. They could be a woman, okay, of maybe high schools, headmaster, and then maybe of this one, of primary schools or of kindergartens, if they are eligible as a politicians, because most of them has a talents and they have a good politics. They can negotiate, of course, and then they can also address maybe large crowd, and then they can calm those kind of situations. Why you cannot deal with those headmasters? You have them. If that is for the president of Uganda, they are putting more excellency for this kind of nonsense South Sudanese guy, which is a corrupt. But the guy is the head of Sudan, and then the guy is very corrupt agent down here, operating very wrong because they own the big ideology of the terrorist. Okay, so if the president of Uganda has those many Sudanese headmasters there, and then they don't know them, they don't want to call them or invite them, that is up to them because they have a lot of nonsense underground edition hold, which is a conduct for Ghanas. Okay, they have a lot of conducts for Ghanas. Okay, that is a lot of Ghanas where they're hiding their tanks so that they can put more fire, and then that cannot be distinguished, and then so that you can see more smoke going out. So and if you use those headmasters, maybe you call them the headmasters, they have none of those things because they are the example to those militaries that the Sudanese has over Uganda or in Kenya. Okay, majorly we use Kenya and Uganda because that is if you talk of the Sudanese, they are English. They are dealing with the English. Those headmasters, those school administrators, they are dealing with the English, not the Arabics. They speak Arabic, but not very much. When it comes to administrations, they use normally English. That's why I'm using English, no other language, no mother tongues in Howley, and then I will stick to English for that reasons, because so that people get it clear and then clear again. Okay, so if you use those people very wisely, you call them, you invite them with the well-written info confirmations. Those headmasters like Alunjis is right there. You can be called. You can call them. They have right there head of the schools and high schools and equivalent. Of course, you have many other headmasters, and then on the other hands, we have representatives, because they're all human representatives. We have people like addition. Many of them. Mawadi is also a speaker there. Is close to UN Museveni, and is near to the president. Why you guys you cannot use that kind of mandatory to have some of those disasters which you are seeing there, the bad map to be removed. And if you train them well, they sit near the president, or they are nearby to the stadiums. Of course, they have this kind of papers handy with them. They can explain, they can talk to you, they can answer even on my behalf right there. And then other than that, having some cases to be cured up to the hospital, having injured, having bloody people up to the hospital, because they have right there, and then they can be the right people to be used. Okay, so those are the right appropriate measures that you should use, because don't look at what they have right there as a conduct or as a tank, because those most of the residents, if you look, they are militaries. They have their tanks. They are carrying their tanks with them, which may flow, or which may break and catch fire or smoke on the sky, because it's not the safe things they are carrying with them. We don't know, but when you use the school, and that is why most of them, they trust on the schools. You use the schools, you call the schools heads, and then the people above, some doctors, you deal with the doctors, okay, hospital doctors, and then they will be able to help you also very much there in those areas. They can come out and then leave their shift and then go and help, and then they can understand, because they explain for you what is available. If whatever the community is affected, the Sudanese communities that are affected in this African community. That's why if you look, we are all using these cases to defend that offense, because the offense is anyhowly you may see smoke going up, because people are not good enough, and then you have to coordinate a lot, you have to work a lot, and then you have to ensure does that gonna be saved? What am I creating is gonna be safe? That's what all people answers and all people do there. So that's why is a regard. If this is in these areas here, don't his state to ask those headmasters that you are seeing around here, around this line here, or anywhere around here. You ask them, you talk to them. They will be happy to answer your questions, inquiries, other than wasting your times going for this kind of a Ghana, which is sitting over Juba or maybe Malakal, wherever they could not be found, because they become maybe a militaries, and then you want them urgent to put those kind of fire off right there, but they escape. They went to Congo so that they can get promoted right there. They want you people to be fooled. So no answers were answered. Everything was unanswered. That's why it's a regard. So on overview, that could be the summaries and a quick overview to what we just analytically issued on these matters. Otherwise, on my overview, this is just the catching that we have. We have to expand. Other than that, it is me, Waine HassanZiziton.